And today we're going over that practice test from yesterday. Now, one of the things I want you to note, look at how many times they use these formulas. Like this formula right here, this is just the teacher saying, I used it on all those problems. Holy crap, that formula got used on problem 2, 9, 10, 11, and 15. That's 5 times. This formula only got used once. If you had to understand how to use only one formula, it would be that one. Like for those of you that are like, okay, just to be happy with a C on this stuff, I'm terrible at this, then you know how to use that formula. It came up over and over and over again. All right, this one got used 3 times, which to me means that it was more important than the one that got used only 1 time. These were only used once each. Okay, so if you're going to understand formulas, apparently the arithmetic kind, and what's the difference between a U formula and an S formula? You know? S stands for sum of. That's a good way to say it. The S kind is when you're adding them all up. All right. So let's actually go through the answers here. On this first one, they asked whether it was arithmetic or geometric. Well, since they were adding 7, it was arithmetic. And then use the formula to find U sub 22. This is the kind, look at, they wrote the formula out. That's what I would do too. Write the formula out, stick in all the numbers, and multiply it all out. If you didn't get 150, but you had the same numbers, it's because you put it in the calculator wrong. You got to learn how to do that. Headphone out. And if you have cell phones out, this is the last chance to put them away safely. If it's in your lap or your desk, it's going to get moved to the jail. Last chance to put away cell phones. Okay, so on to this number 3 question. Here, look, they were timesing by 3. I really wish that our worksheet had a parentheses around every time it's multiplied, but I can't promise you that. Usually we would put a parenthesis around it and put a time sign. But sometimes we forget the parenthesis there. Okay, so that's timesing by 3, so it's geometric. And to use this formula, this was the one we didn't use as much, but the geometric formulas, that's one of them. You stick the numbers in the right spots and you get negative 118,098. And if you got these problems, you had the right numbers here, but you just got the wrong answer here, you've got to fix that. You need the calculators, to come out with the right answer. You must be doing it wrong. And I think it's because people just think you can go this times this. You can't. Why can't you just do negative 2 times 3? Because it'll do that, and you'll get negative 6 and then put it to a power. That's the wrong answer. You have to do this first. I'm going to highlight it in blue. Right there, that has to be first. 3 to the 10th, and then times it by negative 2. The order of math makes a big difference. All right, going on to this page. Everybody flip to the page where you have problem 5. Looks like they were adding 4 each time. That wasn't too tough. So do you know that this always has U sub n minus 1 after the U sub n? That's one of the most common mistakes. Look at yours, see if you had that. Question?
I just put the n minus 1 in parentheses.
Yes, that's okay. You can put this as a parenthesis n minus 1 instead of doing a subscript. That works. All right, Mr. B, can you shut that door over there? Those guys are obviously distracting. On to number 6. On this one, it's got the U sub n minus 1 again, but it's got a times 1/2. There will be a few kids that said divide by 2. That's going to get marked wrong on the test because you're only allowed to multiply. So if you were wanting to divide by 2, that's the same as timesing by 1/2. I'll give you another one. There's very typical for us to divide by 3, so don't. Times by 1/3. Okay, divide by 3 and times 1/3 are the same thing. You've got to use this. Oh, I was trying to highlight it. You got to use that, and you can't use that. All right, moving on. Look at your answers for 7. It was 2,070. Got to use this formula because, look, it's got pluses in between. And that means it's the S formula. And again, it's either used the wrong formula or you used the wrong numbers or you typed it in wrong. Those are the 3 mistakes people make. Wrong formula, wrong numbers, or you typed it in wrong. All right. On to number 8. I had a lot of kids asking me what this was. Because of this formula, they knew R was 1/3, but they were like, what do I do? You can type this on a calculator as 1 minus parentheses 1 divided by 3. That's how you can put it on a calculator. And it'll come out to 0.666. That's the same as 2/3. And 1 minus 1/3 is 2/3. There it is. Final answer, 270. All right, now here's where the really hard ones come in. And most of you can get 6 out of 8 of those easy ones right. But this is the real kicker for most of you, because most of you will get a C without having to try super hard. Okay, for most of you, you want a B or an A. So here's what I would do whenever I start. Do you see how they made a list of the terms? They started with what they started with, and then they made the second one, and then they like do a few of the terms. I'm telling you, that's the one thing I think will separate A's from B's, is people that write down what are the first term and the second term and the third term. Because as soon as you see that, you're like, oh, this isn't that hard. It just keeps going up by 42. And that tells you it's arithmetic. And that tells you which formulas to use. All right. This one was a little weird because it had years, so you had to go, oh yeah, that's 8 years later. So it's U sub 8. I get a lot of people got confused by the 2005 to 2013 thing, but that's just saying 8 years, so U sub 8. Final answer on that one, 1096. Now, I think there's a mistake in the key, and I can't remember which one. Does anybody remember? I think I even put it in the title of the key. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there wasn't a mistake in the key. Somebody told me about what they thought was a mistake in the key. So if you have one that you're like, Mr. Server, I'm pretty sure that number 10 is actually this, say something. Because maybe it's my honors pre-calc class that had that. Okay, on to number 10. This is a weird one because they give you the answer is 1,000 and people don't know where to put it. You put it here at the beginning. That's where you put the 1,000. And the thing you don't know is the n. And so then you got to solve for that n. So we subtract 800, divide both sides by 42, and at the end just add 1. So the answer came out to 5.71, which means you would actually need to get to 6 years before you'd have 1,000 people. It would happen between 5 years and 6 years. If you said that, I would have been a good answer. Between 5 and 6 years is what it would take. All right, I am curious. 9 and 10, if you could just get those two right, you could potentially get a B on the test. How many of you got 9 and 10 right? All right, good. Next. All right. Oh, I am wrong. There is more R2s than I thought there were. So we need to get at least another one right here to get a B. Okay, I thought there was only 4 R3s. Ice's ice cream treats sell 14 of first date. Look at what the teacher did. They make a list of the first, second, third term. That's what I would do. All right. Then they wrote out this formula. That's the one that got used like 6 times. That formula is for arithmetic kind, where you know the common difference and all that stuff. All right, that one came out to 84. That was a pretty straightforward question. The next one was, if they do 37 days, ooh, that seems like U sub 37. Oh, no, wait. Total. That's a hint that you wanted a sum. So you should have used the S sub formula. I could totally see somebody using the other formula for this, but it says total. It's trying to say that's a sum. Okay, so final answer, 3848. On number 13, this one, once again, they've given us the answer. They've given us this 1010. So we got to stick it in the formula at the beginning, right where the beginning part is. And then the thing we don't know is the U sub 1. Look at how they don't have a number there. It's because they're going to solve for U sub 1. Then the teacher simplifies some things like this turns into 10, and this is 19, And then 19 times 5 is 95. And then they divide by 10 on both sides to get rid of this times 10 there. And when they solve it all the way down, they got 3. I'm curious, did anybody, without help from looking at the key, get 3? Raise your hand if you got 3 without the key. All right, that's just a few of you, though. And that's what I want you to look over really close. What part of that got you? Like, just, this is the moment where you can become an A student instead of a B student on this test. Look over this answer. If you got it wrong, what didn't you do right? Did you forget to put in this number at the beginning? Did you not know to leave this as a U sub 1 because nobody told you U sub 1? Maybe you didn't have a U1 in your formula. Maybe you used the wrong formula. But if you don't know what you did wrong, then how are you going to do it right on the real test? Okay, on number 14. Final answer on this one, if you use the infinite formula, which is, oh no, finite, sorry, I thought it said infinite, finite. So then you're not using the infinite formula, you're using this formula. Only got used once on the whole test, right there. Final answer, 2059. Now, if you've got these same numbers, but you got a different answer, then your calculator is your issue. If you had the same numbers, but you got something else here, maybe you don't know how to put it in the calculator right, so you should ask me that. And last but not least, look at how the teacher put blanks out again. If I could only bless you with one skill, it would be always put, for word problems, always put blanks out like this and try to fill in what was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth term, etc. And they gave you this and they gave you that, so you were able to figure out that you added something 4 times and it grew by 28. You know, went from 40 to 68. So you can go, oh, 7 4 times would get you the 28 growth. So you can guess and check on that one. It's okay. And you'd have realized that you just add 7 each time. Because 40 plus 7 is 47. And then plus 7 is 54. 61. And then add 7 makes 68. Then you'd subtract 7 to go this way. So this would be 33. Subtract 7 from that is 26. Subtract 7 from that is 19. Subtract 7 is 12. So you can tell the U1 was 12. And now I can do anything because I know how much it's going up by each time and I know what the first term was. Final answers then, the first term was 12. And you'd use this formula again for like the 7th time on this test. Get 369. All right. Now, if I had taken that much time and then said, now we're going to give you the test, you wouldn't have time to finish the test. So, I know some of you are completely ready. And some of you probably are going to struggle with these word problems on today's practice test. If you listened carefully as I went over them, it shouldn't be that bad because the problems are remarkably similar. And they're remarkably similar to the actual test. So, let's just take one more day and I think we can convert a lot of kids who would have gotten a C. By practicing some more today, maybe we can get you to a B. And some of you that would have gotten an A minus, maybe you can get you to a straight. All right? Now, that worksheet, what are you going to do with it? Well, at the end of the hour, I'm going to ask you to hand me the white one. Okay, the one that you have on your desk. Don't give it to me right now. I'd like you to use it. You could totally use that worksheet you have to kind of help you do better on this one. All right. Now, there's going to be different opinions on this next thing I'm about to say. I am going to offer 2 different ways that we could do this, and I'm not sure which is better. I kind of liked having you have a partner to work with, but it would be a different partner today. I'd just have you like shuffle a little bit and work with different people. Or you could just do it by yourself, okay? I'm torn between which one is better because on the one hand, if I give you a partner, you have somebody to ask if you're stuck. right? And that's good. On the downside to working with the partner is some of you are going to be like, feel awkward that you don't know how to do it, and maybe they do. Okay, but I think it might be better to have a partner, but I could also see the argument, well, tomorrow you're not going to have a partner. This is not a partner test. Like, we should see if you really know how to do it by yourself now. Give me your opinion. I'm still deciding right now whether or not I should say, here's your partner and here's a practice test to do with your partner and then take it home to finish it, or if you should just do it yourself. Opinions. What do you think would be better? You're leaning towards self, but got to give me a reason why. What do you think is the reason that doing it yourself would be the best?
I can work at my own pace.
Okay. All right. There's a benefit to that. Yeah. Anybody else have an opinion on which would be better for today? You can agree with the same opinion, or you can say, I think it should be partners because blah.
Yeah, I also like working at my own pace.
Okay. So another person seconding the working at your own pace. All right. Now, I'm going to let this be a vote. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. If you don't vote, then other people will make the decision. That happens in the presidency of the United States all the time. Tons of people that could vote don't vote, and the people that vote get to decide. So I don't care, vote or not vote, just like for the president. How many of you would vote for, I would like to do it alone? Raise your hand if you're voting for alone. And partner? All right, then it's alone. But if you're the person who's like, I would rather have a partner, you can use me as your partner. You just walk up and say, I'm stuck on this, help me. Okay? So we will go with alone because most people ask for that. And please, though, start on the last problems. Start on the hard ones. Because if you're stuck, I want you to be able to get help from me. All right? So maybe we'll do the first couple just to kind of warm up your brain. But then go do the hard ones while you're in class so you can finish the easy ones later at home when it's easy. Yes, you may. All right, that's all I got for the video for today. The decision was made to have the kids work alone on the version 2 of the practice test. Then they'll take that home. I'll post the key, and then you'll be totally ready for the test tomorrow.